If I believe something to be hard, then it will be. If I believe something to be easy, then it will be easy. If I believe something to be going back and forth between ease and hardships, then it will be so. It is vitally important to control the way you think and imagine throughout your day and make them line up fully with what you desire. This is an activity between your conscious and subconscious mind. If you can get your subconscious mind to accept that you will be successful in any given activity, then it will become so for you. You no longer have to talk about your plans or hope others' conscious minds will believe in you. No, this is strictly between your conscious and subconscious mind. Put in all your effort to convince your subconscious mind that you can do something and it will come to pass. This you must understand and apply daily to prove it to yourself. Now, just because your family, friends or strangers don't believe in you, that is no reason for you not to make sure you impress your subconscious mind with what you desire, so you can prove them all wrong. Your conscious mind is the gatekeeper of your subconscious mind. That is what you should have been told when growing up. Instead, what happens for most is that they allow their senses to control their conscious mind, and the things that are impressed through the senses, well, they end up in the subconscious mind. So lack and limitations, doubts and worries usually arise because of what the senses are telling us, not because of what we are critically thinking for ourselves. Because if we would critically think about our dreams, we can impress wonderful things onto our own subconscious mind. So people generally let the limitations of present results be impressed upon their subconscious mind, and the effect is that they remain and feel stuck. Things feel hopeless or impossible to ever improve or of realization. Another more subtle effect it has is that of struggle. They feel they have to struggle hard and long to hopefully someday achieve what they desire. However, if you know the conscious mind is the gatekeeper, then you know you have the power to reject what your senses are telling you and instead build wonderful dreams in your consciousness through the use of your imagination, and then have that be impressed upon the subconscious mind. The result of that is that you feel hope, courage, determination, passion, and purpose. All kinds of forces that will launch you onto the path of realization, so you will indeed be able to improve your life in the direction of what you truly want. How do I influence my subconscious mind and get it to accept my wonderful dream? This is a very important question, and you must understand this. You must know the answer, because that is the only way of you realizing whatever it is that you want to achieve in this lifetime, whatever you want to improve. If you can impress it upon your subconscious mind, it will automatically move into form with and through you. So you have to be mentally relaxed. That is the first objective, because you know the conscious mind is the gatekeeper. So be mentally relaxed. This is so important to grasp. Don't skip this. By taking the time to think about what I want calmly and clearly, and keep repeating the thought within my conscious mind until I truly start to feel and believe I can realize my objective. As long as the mind is not relaxed, it is harder to influence the subconscious mind. That is why in many books it was stated to either sit down and close your eyes, or to also do this before you fall asleep at night. For then the conscious mind naturally calms down, and you can start injecting ideas into your subconscious mind effectively. As you can see, none of these acts demand you work with anyone at all. It is all about you working with yourself, with your conscious and subconscious mind. Whatever my dream is, I must hand it over to my subconscious mind through the process described earlier, so that I may turn it into a reality. That is the foundation that should never be lost sight of. You start from here in any given undertaking, whether it is a financial goal, health goal, relationship goal, career goal, it doesn't matter, it works for any goal. So what is the process again? Well, you have to inject impress your dream on your subconscious mind. You do this by consciously affirming what it is that you desire, by consciously affirming things optimistically for yourself and about your goal. So in many areas, you could say you have to inject having a wonderful relationship into your subconscious mind. You start dreaming consciously about having a wonderful relationship, starting to feel what that would be like. How would you actually feel if that was reality? By repeating this process every day, and the more intensely you do it, the more time you spend on doing this consciously, by that feeling nature that develops through that focus on your dream consciously, it becomes impressed on the subconscious mind. This happens through the feeling nature of your own thoughts. This is important to understand. So don't just think about having a wonderful relationship, actually feel the nature of this dream, this goal, this objective. That is how it is impressed onto the subconscious mind. You could also say inject having a healthy body with your ideal weight into your subconscious mind through the same process. Inject being wealthy into your subconscious mind if you want more money. Inject being successful at what you do into your subconscious mind if you want to see better results. Inject traveling the world, visiting the places you desire to see the most into your subconscious mind, and plans will start to develop and arise through which you will travel. Inject anything that you truly desire to realize into your subconscious mind. This is the foundation. If you start from here, then you can realize whatever goal you will set for yourself. But most people, they don't start with influencing their own subconscious mind. They just start trying to work on their dream. They struggle, they may fail, they give up, because their subconscious mind are not yet convinced and full of belief that they can achieve their dream. Because once that state is realized, when your subconscious mind also believes and accepts that conscious belief that you can do something, then it will happen. All these things will come to pass if you succeed in conveying your dreams to your subconscious. That is the beauty of the power that resides within you. Now, this is also a good point to kind of briefly touch on a few things that we as a society like to indulge in, but I would say also from personal experience and observation that stuff like alcohol or drugs can be very dangerous on this path, because these things influence your conscious mind, and this is the very thing you need in order to impress good ideas onto your subconscious mind. So you cannot afford letting your conscious mind be negatively influenced or numbed by drugs. It makes them dull. Your conscious mind becomes dull through these drugs. It is easy to make it full of nonsense and negative thoughts. If it makes you lose control, it is all constantly impressed on your subconscious mind. So be very careful with those substances. This was something I too had to learn the hard way, so I hope you will learn from my mistakes. Once in a lucid dream, it was told to me by my own subconscious mind, if you feel that you can, then you will. If I feel that I can do something, then I will do it. Not until you feel through your entire being itself that you can do something will it happen. So in that revelation lies the process of influencing the subconscious mind. So take any goal you dream of realizing and then allow yourself to feel that you can do it. Even if at first it seems absurd. The objective is to keep practicing it anyway, until finally the subconscious mind accepts it, and you truly do feel through your entire being that you can achieve something. This is the sign your belief about an objective has changed. As long as you have feelings of doubts or worries, you have not yet fully altered your own belief concerning the goal, but you have to keep thinking about your dream. You have to keep picturing it in your mind, until finally that belief develops that you can do it and gets rid of all the nonsense. You don't have to rush out and or do anything. That's why people worry so much over whether they're doing enough in physical actions alone. But yeah, you must give your goals over to your subconscious mind and develop the belief once and for all that you can do something, and the rest then happens automatically in response to that. You fall under a compulsion. So the only activity you have to truly be involved in every day is to get your conscious mind to hand over your dream to your subconscious mind, so the latter comes to accept it and helps you move it into a reality. Your activity should be such that every day, as much as possible, you think optimistically about your life and your goals. To feel full of your dreams so they become more and more ingrained within your subconscious mind over time. The subconscious is your soul partner. The two, conscious and subconscious, must become one and operate in divine harmony. So the conscious mind thinks and imagines wonderful things throughout the day, and the subconscious accepts them and unleashes the power to make things happen. All thoughts of a negative nature about yourself and your life are absurd, like weeds growing in a garden that should be discarded. Instead, plant thoughts and imagery of positive things that will reach down into the subconscious. The response of negative thoughts is you feel bad. The response of wonderful thoughts is that you start to feel great. That is a response of your own subconscious mind in action. Now keep going in that direction until new beliefs are formed about yourself and your world, and the whole life of yours improves and is lifted up. The subconscious always gets impressed by your conscious mind activity, so our duty is to fill the conscious mind with wonderful thoughts and visions of what we want to do, have, or become. Most people sadly are allowing their conscious minds to be filled with doom and gloom, and so their life never seems to improve. They constantly struggle to overcome all kinds of bad habits because of it. When the two become one, as the Bible stated, that is when you have lucid dreams. Your dreams at night are a manifestation of your subconscious mind, and if you were to be conscious during those times, the two have in that moment become one, and you would discover greater truths about your own existence that lie beyond physicality. It is clairvoyance and clairaudience, your ability to see and hear without the aid of the physical senses during those times. Now it is also very interesting to grasp a couple things here. When I was a child, I had numerous goals like most children, but here's the thing, I unconsciously knew how to influence my own subconscious mind in order to get it. The techniques I shared with you earlier by affirming something consciously over and over again until you start to feel that it is true for you. Well, that is what I did as a child, imagine that, but nobody told me that. I knew nobody growing up talking about these techniques at all to begin with. But yet that is what you want to grasp for yourself. See, if I as a child, like 6, 7 years old, was already aware of these techniques unconsciously, what can we do as adults? We can do wonderful things. So what would I do as a child whenever I wanted something? Well, every time I would go to bed, I would affirm indeed to myself that I already had what I desired to have. It might have been a toy or some game console at the time, actually a PlayStation, stuff like that. I was like, hey, that's awesome, I want that. I didn't have the money, because I was a child, of course. I don't have any money, I was not working either, so it was like, I want that, but I can't afford it technically. So what I would do every night, I was look at magazines, look at the console, would dream about having one, would feel as if I already owned one, and I kept that up for months and months in a row. My parents would say, well, maybe if you save up some money, eventually you might be able to get one. And I always felt like, yeah, I want to have it soon, so I kept doing that. But then I would say I want to have it for my birthday. Then my birthday came and, surprise, I didn't get the PlayStation. I felt a little sad. I was like, oh, that's too bad. But what did happen actually later that day was that my dad showed up and then he gave me the PlayStation. So it was kind of like they fooled me there for a little bit. But I remember it was stuff like that. It was kind of majestic. Now you might say, well, children, if they ask their parents for a gift, they probably are going to buy it for them anyway. Of course this may be true. But the main point here is that I did practice the exact same techniques that people like Neville, Goddard were talking about as well. I would feel my wish fulfilled before falling asleep at night, every single day for months in a row if I had to, and then it manifested. And I didn't even have to pay all that money for it myself, so it was actually a good deal to me. Now, over 20 years later, I realized as a child I was using the power of prayer unconsciously to influence my subconscious mind. So what could happen if we were to do it as adults? I'd say even greater things could happen for us. I've seen it happen in my own world. I've seen it happen in other people's lives when they start to consciously influence their own subconscious mind with what they truly want to achieve. Stuff does happen. Just try it out for yourself. every night go to sleep while imagining, feeling, and affirming that you have what you desire, that you are what you desire to be, that you achieved whatever it is you want. If the technique worked for me as a child, certainly it can work for us now that we're older and hopefully wiser. And there's another thing I would like to add to that. It's not just that I used this technique as a child and then for a long time I didn't. Now also throughout my teenage years and adulthood so far I've used this technique. But it's just that with every year I become more and more keenly aware of this power, consciously aware I could say, where I can actually perceive this power and try to share this with you all through these videos, so that hopefully you too can make use of it. A final interesting point to note about my experiences as a child was that I would look forward to imagining and feeling as if I already had achieved whatever goal I had on my mind. But throughout the day itself I was simply busy with whatever I was supposed to be doing. My whole process basically only involved influencing my subconscious mind before falling asleep at night. This is a very important point since as adults many times throughout the day we start to think negatively and start to entertain doubts or worries concerning our dream, but we should simply dismiss them as pointless activities. The subconscious mind can warn you and advise you. I've had moments in my life I was outside of my home and a hunch came to me that someone would call out to me, that would call my name, but that I should not reply or turn around. I should basically pretend I didn't hear them. A few seconds later someone yelled out my name, and I did not turn around or respond. I pretended I did not hear them. It was only after, when I did sort of moved on and kind of glanced backwards, when I knew they were already, going their own way again, that I realized, that person that called out to me was actually, because this was in my childhood, was actually a bully, So me ignoring them was a good choice and nothing came of the situation. Other times I went to sleep and I had vivid dreams of other people in particular that they were up to no good and planning bad things and were lying to my face when I would be physically awake. And I would find out not much later, when I did wake up, that indeed they were being sketchy and involved in behavior that would not do me or anyone any good. There was one time in particular before I went to sleep at night, the subconscious through intuition told me in a few minutes, someone will text you, don't reply, or your studies will become delayed. After a few minutes passed, the girl texted me to whom I had not spoken for a few months, and instead of ignoring it, I replied. And I suppose it was true, my studies did get delayed, because instead I got physically involved with her for a while, but in the end it also didn't last, and I realized I should get back to my studies and focus on those so I can help not only myself but also share my findings with humanity. Now of course I'm not saying this is always the case, you can have wonderful relationships, but I guess my subconscious mind tried to warn me, because for me it's actually very important to, if I were to date someone, to be on the same mental wavelength as them, that they understand the power of their own minds as well, because otherwise you very rapidly get kind of a strange sort of dynamic where it's almost like they want me to coach them constantly, and it's just kind of off topic, but it just doesn't feel that fun to me long term, let's put it like that. Now all this stuff can happen for you as well, that the subconscious mind will warn you of things, will inspire you, guide you, and it's all in total relation to how much you learn and become able to work with your own subconscious mind, to trust in it, to believe that it is, as Joseph Murphy would say, your friend, to actually feel it. Every night before I fall asleep, I like to say in my heart, my conscious and subconscious are in total harmony, and I obey the guidance of God flowing through it, into my service mind. It is a wonderful statement to make and feel before going to sleep. So perhaps it is something you are interested in trying as well, and see what your own subconscious mind will reveal to you, and how it can help you throughout your life. In many books I've read that there is a conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind. Now the superconscious might as well be called God, and it is through your subconscious mind that you can receive the wisdom of infinite intelligence. Can you believe this to be true? Because you should, so prove it to yourself starting today, by working with your own wonderful subconscious mind.